Hi there. So today I'd like to discuss some of the basics of human anatomy. We're going to pose the question, how well do you know your body? Firstly, we're going to discuss some of the different approaches you can take to studying anatomy. Then we're going to briefly discuss what the different organ systems of the body are, give a quick overview of each one of the systems, and then we're going to do that learning by some trivia questions. So there are two different approaches we can take when studying anatomy. One approach is the microscopic approach. That approach studies structures that cannot be seen without magnification, and microscopic anatomy can then be subdivided into two different categories. Those two different categories are histology and cytology. Histology takes on a broader perspective and examines tissues, whereas cytology analyzes the internal structure of the cells. Another approach to studying anatomy would be the macroscopic approach, otherwise known as gross anatomy. This approach studies relatively larger structures and structures that can be seen without magnification, and then can be subdivided into three different categories. So the three different categories are surface, regional, or systemic. Surface refers to the study of general form or morphology and superficial anatomical markings. Regional considers all of the superficials and internal features in one specific area of the body. And systemic studies the structures of the major organ systems, and that's what I'd like to focus on here today. So there are 11 different levels in the body, that being the integumentary system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, cardiovascular, lymphoid, respiratory, digestive, urinary, or reproductive system. So moving right along here, we're going to start in with some trivia and just find out just how well you know your body. So for our first question, this system defends against infection and disease. It returns tissue fluid to the bloodstream. What is this system? So for our choices here, we have the integumentary system, the endocrine system, the lymphoid system, or the reproductive system.
I would guess the lymphoid system.
Top right?
Endocrine?
Yeah, endocrine.
Endocrine. It is actually the lymphoid system. So the lymphoid system's function is to defend against infection and disease, and it does return tissue fluids to the bloodstream. So some organs and components of that system are the lymphatic vessels, the lymph nodes, the spleen, and the thymus. Okay, next question. For what system has 5 different kinds of glands and contains the thymus, kidneys, pancreas, and gonads? The male reproductive system, the integumentary system, the endocrine system, or the muscular system?
What would you figure? I'd figure, I suppose the endocrine or the integumentary system.
I think it's the muscular.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually the integumentary system. So this system directs long-term changes in activities of other organ systems. And as we said, 5 different kinds of glands. So we have the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, the parathyroid gland, and the suprarenal gland, and as well the thymus, kidneys, pancreas, and gonads. So for our next question, this system would be responsible for a singer's voice. The muscular system, the digestive system, the respiratory system, or the nervous system?
I'd like to say nervous because most singers are nervous, but I suppose the muscular or the respiratory system, I suppose.
It is the respiratory system. So your respiratory system delivers air to sites where gas exchange can occur between the air and circulating blood, and as we said, produces sound. So some organs and components of that system are the nasal cavities and the paranasal sinuses, the pharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchi, and the lungs. Alright, so if somebody is talking about the epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. What system might they be talking about? The nervous system, the female reproductive system, the digestive system, or the cardiovascular system?
Nervous system?
No, actually, it is the cardiovascular system. So the function of the cardiovascular system is to transport cells and dissolved materials, including nutrients, wastes, and gases. And some of the organs or components of that system are the heart, the blood vessels, arteries, capillaries, and the blood. So this system forms blood cells, stores minerals, protects tissues, and provides support. The cardiovascular system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, or the reproductive system?
I think I would have to guess maybe not the muscular, but what do you think? The skeletal possibly?
I think it's muscular.
Okay, it's not the muscular system, it's actually the skeletal system.
Oh.
So as we said, this system provides support, protects tissues, stores minerals, and forms blood cells. So some organs and components of that system are the bones, cartilage, and joints, and then we have your axial skeleton, as well as your appendicular skeleton, and then the bone marrow here. So the bone marrow would be the primary site of blood cell production, which is your red marrow, and then the storage of energy reserves in fat cells, which is your yellow marrow. So the hair and nails are part of what system? The integumentary system, the reproductive system, the nervous system, or the skeletal system?
Well, I would guess the skeletal system.
Integumentary?
It actually is, that's correct, it's the integumentary system. So the function of the integumentary system is to protect against environmental hazard, and again helps control body temperature. So we have your cutaneous membrane, which is your epidermis and your dermis. There's your hair follicles, so your hairs and your sebaceous glands, the nails, the sweat glands, the sensory receptors, and then your subcutaneous layer. So for the next question, in what system would you find aponeuroses? We have the nervous system, the muscular system, the digestive system, or the urinary system?
Urinary?
Go with urinary system.
All right, it's not the urinary system. It actually
bad at
is the
this.
muscular
Yeah.
system of all things. So this system allows for locomotion, and it provides support, and is another system that also produces heat. So some components of this system are the skeletal muscles, so your axial muscles and the appendicular muscles, and then we have the tendons and the aponeuroses. So the aponeuroses and tendons, they harness the forces of contraction to perform specific tasks. Alright, so the ductus deferens and the epididymis are accessory organs to what system? The urinary system, the digestive system, the male reproductive system, or the respiratory system?
I almost want to say the urinary system.
I think it's the male reproductive system.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've done this before. The male reproductive system is the correct answer. So its function is to produce sex cells and hormones, and some organs and components of that system are the testes, and then the accessory organs are the epididymis, and yes, the ductus deferens, which are your sperm ducts, the seminal glands, the prostate gland, their urethra, and then we have, of course, the external genitalia, which would be the penis and the scrotum. Okay, so the liver and the gallbladder are part of what system? The urinary system, the endocrine system, the digestive system, or the reproductive system?
Went with urinary system last time, I'll go with that again.
Can't be wrong if you keep answering it. Digestive.
Digestive system is correct.
Liver.
Oh, fair enough.
You bet. So the digestive system processes food and absorbs nutrients. Some components of that system then would be the mouth, the salivary glands, the pharynx, the esophagus, and then the stomach, the small intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and then of course your large intestine. Okay, so if you've ever had a kidney stone, you might know the answer to this question. So the kidney stone would have the greatest effect on what system? The urinary system, the lymphoid system, the digestive system, or the integumentary system?
I got this one. It's the urinary system.
I think it's digestive.
No, you are correct. It is the urinary system. So the function of the urinary system would be to eliminate excess water, salts, and waste products. So some organs and components of that system are the kidneys, the ureters, the urinary bladder, and the urethra. So this system has two systems within its system. The female reproductive system, the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, or the male reproductive system.
Oh, I want to say female reproductive system. I would guess the nervous system then?
Cardiovascular.
All right, well, it is the nervous system. So, as we said, it has two systems within a system. So we have the central nervous system or the peripheral nervous system. So within the central nervous system, there is the brain, the spinal cord, and the special senses. And then your peripheral nervous system, and that links the central nervous system with other organ systems and with sense organs. Okay, so we have our final question here today. Cleavage and blastiocyst formation occur within this system: the female reproductive system, the cardiovascular system, the digestive system, or the nervous system.
I would say the female reproductive system would be.
Cleavage, medical? I'm gonna have to go with female.
I don't know if that's exact medical term that we're looking for, but it is the female reproductive system. So its function, again, is to produce sex cells and hormones. It supports embryonic development from fertilization to birth. So cleavage and blastocyte formation is actually a sequence of cell division that begins immediately after fertilization and end at first contact with the uterine wall. Over this period, the zygote becomes a pre-embryo that develops into a multicellular complex known as a blastiocyst. So cleavage and blastiocyst formation being one of the steps in embryonic development. And again, some of the organs and components of the system are the ovaries, the uterine tubes, the uterus, vagina, and then of course the external genitalia, which would be the clitoris and labia, and then the mammary glands. Okay, so that's all of the information I have today. I hope that it was informative as well as entertaining, and that you've learned a little bit more about your body. And everything that I've said in this presentation can be found in the textbook Human Anatomy by Martini, Timmons, and Talish. So thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.
Thank you.